the late 80s and early 90s, these Boston kids changed the face of pop culture. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 New Kids on the Block songs.
See the girls with the girls in their hair, the buttons and the pins and the loud fanfare, yeah.
For this list, we're focusing on official studio releases from NKOTB and all the tracks that influenced the realm of pop music.
Everybody's always talking about who's on top. Don't cross our path, cause you're gonna get stopped.
Number 10. Games. As heard in New Kids live shows, this track has a very strong message. It's true, as the group put the smackdown on haters while delivering some majestic harmonies too. Lyrically, Games introduced a more street-smart aesthetic, as the Boston crew had actually shortened their group name to NKOTB, insinuating their maturity as a unit. Maybe their dance routines for Games don't hold up to 21st century standards, but the music itself led to a modest Billboard hit. All in all, the more aggressive lyrical approach distanced the New Kids from their peers, and the playful chorus certainly pleased the core fan base. Number 9. If You Go Away. Ah yes, now this is a legit early 90s slow jam. Featuring the poignant vocals of Jordan Knight early on, the track quickly shifts gears to young Joey, doubling down on the heartthrob effect. If You Go Away actually dropped during an awkward time, as the New Kids released the single in late 1991, a few years before including the track on their 4th studio album. Even so, If You Go Away performed well on the charts, but it essentially marked the end of the 90s NKOTB phenomenon. As a standalone track, however, it's highly underrated, and an often forgotten New Kids single. Number 8. I'll Be Loving You Forever. During their late 80s prime, New Kids on the Block released this emotional ballad, and fans gently wept with joy. I'll Be Loving You Forever ultimately reached number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, so you know that both women and men alike were feeling this guilty pleasure slow jam. There's much to appreciate with this NKOTB classic, whether it's the slow build-up or the high-pitched Jordan Knight vocals. I'll Be Loving You Forever's straightforward approach earned the boys even more exposure, solidifying the New Kids as the boy band of the time. Number 7. Summertime.
Do you remember, or should I rewind to that summer when you caught my eye?
Now let's just take a minute to understand the context of this digital age New Kids track. At the time of release, the crew had been on a slight hiatus.
You wasn't looking for a man when you saw me in the sand, but you fell for the boy from the city.
In fact, Summertime marked their first single in 14 years, but their updated sound certainly had a place in pop culture. Okay, maybe both the song and music video have a few issues, but if you grew up with the New Kids, then none of that really mattered when this song first emerged.
You strapless, undress, kick it back, no stress, as long as we was together.
It's easy to connect with the summertime vibe, and while the New Kids' comeback song didn't crack the Billboard Top 10, it still gave them new life and a much-needed hit.
The thought of you still makes me crazy. Think about you in the summertime.
Number 6. CoverGirl. A decade before Britney Spears took bubblegum pop into the 21st century, this New Kids track capitalized on the same lyrical concept. Released as the album's 5th single, America responded positively, as CoverGirl reached number 2 on the Billboard Hot 100. Written and produced by the legendary Maurice Starr, it's one of those quintessential hey girl tracks, loaded with fluff and cheesy lyrics. But it made loyal fans go crazy at live shows. It's most definitely a product of the time, but the New Kids changed lives with CoverGirl. They changed lives.
We've been together for a long time, baby.
Number 5. Please Don't Go Girl.
I just can't live without you. So listen to me.
Yet another evocative song featuring the spoken word by one Danny Wood, this track also thrives with the harmonies of young Joey Mack.
Tell me you'll stay.
For their breakthrough sophomore album, the New Kids actually chose Please Don't Go Girl as the lead single, a gentle ballad for all their adoring fans.
You're my best friend, girl. You're my love within.
No, it's not quite a club banger, but it's a perfect example of how NKOTB could slow things down for an atmospheric vibe. Released in April of 1988, the single truly sent the New Kids into pop culture stardom, after a somewhat disappointing 1986 debut.
I'm gonna always love you, girl.
Number 4. Tonight.
Remember when we said, girl, please don't go.
As the second single from the widely successful Step by Step album, this New Kids number steps away from the typical pop song formula.
Touch about hanging tough, as long as you got the right stuff.
Combining lyrical shoutouts to prior hits with playful rhythmic switch-ups, Tonight offered something different for both existing fans and curious consumers.
Well, I guess it's a brand new day after all. Every time we hear the curtain call.
Incidentally, this is what made NKOTB so timely and relevant, as they weren't afraid to take a few risks.
And they're from everywhere. Show us how you care.
It might not go down in history as a gem of early 90s songwriting, but it features New Kids in their prime, and harmonizing like nobody's business, a fully formed boy band.
The buttons and the pins and the loud fanfare, yeah.
Number 3. You Got It, The Right Stuff.
First time was a great time, second time was a blast.
So here's one of those up-tempo New Kids songs that simply took the world by storm.
You got the right stuff, baby.
With such a catchy hook and a fresh late 80s sound, The Right Stuff unsurprisingly cracked the Billboard Top 10, even making the soundtrack for the 1989 Fred Savage film, The Wizard.
All that I wanted was you. You made all my dreams come true.
If that's not impressive, well, even Weird Al parodied the NKOTB hit, further enhancing the song's legacy.
The first time that I tried it, got a big sugar buzz. Nothing gets me high as that sandwich cookie does.
For its time, the track established a new groove for the new kids and gave them a lively hit that appealed to various demographics. Number 2, Hangin' Tough.
Listen up, everybody, if you wanna take a chance.
Ladies and gentlemen, these are the bad boys of 80s pop music. Okay, maybe the new kids postured a bit with Hangin' Tough, but they surely bought into the vibe and lyrical message of the song.
Cause you gotta be hanging tough. Hanging tough. Hanging tough.
There's much to enjoy with this gritty NKOTB classic, most notably a willingness to shed their clean-cut image.
We ain't gonna give anybody any slack. And if you try to keep us down, we're gonna come right back.
The music video played a large role in the song's success, with Donnie Wahlberg taking center stage and presenting the crew as a bunch of ruffians from the block.
Get loose, everybody, cause we're gonna do our thing. Cause you know it ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Hangin' Tough obviously didn't affect pop culture like some later boy bands, yet it created a new brand for the new kids and helped them survive the decade as a collective unit.
Are you tough enough? Hanging tough. Hanging tough.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
You don't gotta be alone. I'll be your boyfriend. You don't gotta be alone. I'll be your boyfriend. You don't gotta be alone. Baby, I'll be your boyfriend. Did I know you love me so? Did I? And I'm burning up, so let's turn it up. I said turn it up now. On me. She's dirty dancing on me, step by step. Ooh, baby.
Number 1, Step by Step. Kicking off a new decade of pop music, the new kids further influenced pop culture trends with this highly energetic single.
Really want you in my world. Step, hey girl, in your eyes.
If social media existed back then, Step by Step would have won the internet, as everybody and their mama was seemingly vibing to the new kids' style.
Step one.
We can have lots of fun.
Step two. There's so much we can do.
At the time of release, NKOTB had been away for a bit, and their 5-step lyrical structure gave each member their moment to shine, especially Jordan with his astonishing Step 3 falsetto.
Step three. It's just you and me. Step four. I can give you more. Step 5.
For the music video, a young Mark Wahlberg makes a cameo, as this 90s hit inspired a new wave of American boy bands.
Step by step. Oh, baby. I want you, I need you in my world.
So do you agree with our selections?
Please don't go, girl.
What is your favorite New Kids on the Block song? For more trendy top 10s published daily, be sure to subscribe to MsMojo.
The right stuff.